Welcome, wastelanders, to this brand new chapter. I'm glad that we are finally moving on from that thing. It is pretty interesting to see now what endurance has to do. And for that reason, you need to see what damage threshold is. And what does that mean? I mean, it is the damage that you can hold. Duh. So, for that same reason, you need to keep a very good eye out to the things like power armor, or even some metallic armor, or reinforced combat armor, or the like, in order to protect you here in the wasteland. As just like we said before, here is a pretty nasty place that you need some cover. Unless you're working with someone like the Legion who... Oh, never mind. Always keep a big eye out to your belly, as here it is very important to have a very strong belly in order to take whatever the wasteland is actually giving you. Unless you don't say these things and something like this can happen to you. But don't you worry, there are a lot of things that actually aren't irradiated, and they come from places like farms, or even if you are like a mafia boss, or even some of the NCR investors that are around here can give you some pretty nice loot in order to fulfill your delinquencies here in the wasteland. Like, try to make, I don't know, a caravan lunch, or even something better like food paste or canned food. It is pretty nice. So even if you cannot afford something from the Ultralux, you can always just, I don't know, try to hunt them down instead of just trying to get those things. They can be pretty harsh for you to not have enough caps for that reason. And you can just go and hunt some Brahmin, for example. They are pretty vast here in the wasteland. Or you can just go for something simpler, like a Mirelurk or the like, that they are always near the lakes, water, or any type of things like it. And while you're hunting, you can always create some recipes and some delicacies here in the wasteland. So always ask around and see what you can find. Same with some really special things, like just trying to hunt down a Queen Mirelurk in order to have a real nice cake, to which she can give you a lot of things in return. So don't you waste your time and try to hunt them down. If you see one, you need one. So of course, go ahead and try it out. Even if it is so big and you can barely do some damage, it really doesn't matter. But if you cannot find it, you can still produce some food, as even if you throw a mininook to the soil, that doesn't mean that it is infertile. All the contrary, actually. You can still harvest a lot of fruits, vegetables, and the like in order to fulfill your own belly. And why is that a thing? I really don't know, and I don't care. It fits us all, and that's what's important. And it is more importantly for you to understand that you, with a healthy body, you can outrun anything, even Mingus, even though they're extinct, mostly because, you know, you outrun them, of course. But obviously, you can always find some clean water. And even most importantly, you can go to the capital wasteland and drink everything around here. Wait, why am I getting rats? Well, whatever. Maybe not all water, but still, it is pretty impressive. So of course, there will be raiders around that will trying to get some water. Most importantly, they are wearing some armor, to which they barely covered something around them. But not because it's barely covering you, that means that you are not protected, because you are. And of course, you can take something like a Legion attire, but they are not the greatest in the cold, as cold and hot weathers can be pretty detrimental to your life. And just imagine trying to use a leather jacket here in the Mojave Desert. I mean, it can happen something like this to you, just by wearing something like that. But most importantly, don't you forget that the sun can actually give you some benefits. But again, Just know what to wear and where to wear it. As here, you can barely find something so cool like Chinese stealth armor, as nobody actually sold those things. Or even better, a stealth suit, who
Will
has
you
like
love me if I help you hide?
a pretty kawaii type of um,
Still have
artificial
reserves?
intelligence.
Adequate.
So obviously, if you can find those things, you can always rely on your own skin. Yes, you heard correctly. Your skin actually protects you for not only hot and cold weathers, but it grows hair, nails, and the like. So of course, by just simply being you, we can protect you for almost everything. And not only that, but if you are in the sun at this precise time, you can get some same buff. Unless you're in the night and you get depression because of it. It happens for a lot of us, you know? I mean, just in the night, it just gets you in a really bad mood or you like radiation. Yes, even if it is all of a sudden the same of subject, it is important for you to understand that it will get rid of your hair. Unless not to every type of super mutant, am I right, Tabitha? Yeah, I don't think that she will say something about it. I don't believe that it is a wig, but whatever. Here is what it actually will happen to you if you happen to deal with the mushroom cloud. So, of course, be pretty aware of those acid rains that are pouring right here in the wasteland, as those can create more ghouls than it actually needs to. But not all rain is all bad. As you can see here, you can use the actual rain in order to have pure water. Yes, you heard correctly. That's how it is. And of course, not everyone has the opportunity to do that. And for that reason, you could always count on Fisto, who will always have your back. So, of course, if you want a proper bath, you can use the same water that you were having from the rain. Or, I don't know, some other ways to just take a proper bath here in the wasteland is pretty important, as you know, it can it couldn't be just like living in the Commonwealth, for example, that there is a lot of settlements that have clean water because of some random dude, but whatever. And do you really think that the Enclave are doing this thing daily? I mean, they always ended up being dead every single time that I went to investigate, so I don't know how to ask them. Yeah, I don't care. Do you really think that they actually shower daily? I do think so, but it is far more important than you believe, because even if you can't get to shower properly, you just need to do it, as our good shower can grant you a lot of benefits actually in your skin. But no matter what type of shower you're actually getting, you can always count on it. The important thing is that it is, you know, a relief to you. And that's what showers can help you with it. Just having a great good time to yourself, and don't forget about your teeth, as you can use things like this, for example, or even find a toothbrush and toothpaste in order to properly wash your mouth, as it is very important here in the wasteland to maintain a good odor, even if it is quite weird. But trust me, if you are out there and you smell like flowers, I mean, this type of thing can actually happen. So skip a bit with flowers, just a bit, just a bit. But I mean, what happens if you are in the desert and I don't know, you happen to stumble across those things? You can either use them for a shower, or you can give them, for example, like a gift, or more importantly, you can use the same thing as toilet paper. Yeah, you heard correctly. Those things are used to, wipe, I mean, where it is. And you can use those, for example, like this type of thing, And it is the way that you can just go here in the Mojave Wasteland or the capital wasteland. It really doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that you need those sort of things. And don't you forget about you, women, as you can use some empty blood bags in order to make them like a menstrual cup in order to just keep wandering here in the wasteland. And why do I say this? Because it is pretty important for you, ladies, to have some proper hygiene. Of course, if you actually care for it. I mean, some of us actually don't, but it is something natural and that's how things are. So that was the closest thing that I gather here in the wasteland for you to just use as that. But don't get me wrong, it is not on high. I mean, it is pretty sanitized. It's just that you need to clean it up properly with some chlor, I mean, chlorine or some type of thing like it. So maybe there's something better out there. I just couldn't find anything. So if you want to leave a comment, you just go ahead. And I will likely see you all in the wasteland.